Hi, everybody. My name is Amy Cothran. I wanted to bring to you last night's school board meeting, January 9th, 2023. They started off the meeting swearing in the two new board members, Tim Welch and Courtney Tabor. They also elected a president and vice president. It's the same, Carrie Lowski and Brandy Peterson is the vice president. They moved on to the Varsity Cheerleaders have 3 events coming up that are on a Sunday, and if anybody has an event on a Sunday, it has to be approved by the board. So January 15th, January 29th, and February 5th, the Varsity cheerleading squad will be going to different sorted events. The policy committee looked at some policies, and one of the policies they looked at was employee duty hours. And so they're recommending a change in the employee duty hours for the certified staff from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock to 8 hours. It passed its initial reading, and they'll come back next week and they'll vote on it again. There could be some amendments. Some people could say, they don't like it or whatever. Lots of talk about needing to change this because they're talking about staggering possibly start times. So if you have an Arbor kid, that's, it's going to be K through 5. And so if you have an Arbor kid, they said they might possibly do like kindergarten through second showing up at one time and the rest of them showing up another time, or maybe stagger the different schools, or lots of possibilities, and they're all in the planning stages. There is nothing hard set on that, but that's why they're talking about possibly staggering some of those start times. The building and grounds team, they met and they talked about boilers. They're getting a new boiler for Ott Middle School. They're looking at 4 to 6 weeks for it to come in. They have also discovered some plumbing issues there, and that's really all that was said about that. Playground equipment for Arbor South and North, they're looking at a cost of $250,000. There's also plans in the works to put bathrooms in Arbor for the new kindergarten classrooms. They're going to have an open restroom area with doors on the stalls and hand washing stations in those kindergarten classrooms. They discussed how the sewage laid out and how all that really did nicely fit into the structure, so bathrooms aren't going to be as difficult as what they could be. There was also talk about the office at Arbor, so they're going to get somebody to give them an idea, a quote on what it would cost to get that office moved so it's in a more secure location, make that school a little safer to where people had to go to the office or through the office when they came in. Also, they are going to get somebody to look at possible in the future, but they do want to get the numbers now. But this isn't anything they're talking about doing right now, possibly in addition to Deerfield. But like I said, they're just going to get somebody come in and look at it and tell them what's possible and possibly give them an estimate just to kind of get some ideas. They had a safety person come through and they walked through the buildings and they discussed safety. I feel like we'll hear more about that. Finance met, and the food truck that they were talking about needing a lift for, the lift hadn't come in. Well, it broke down and it's at Sid Dillon, and Sid Dillon has pretty much let us know that it needs a new engine. Well, an engine replacement is $12,500. A new lift is $20,000. Right now, they're renting a food truck for $1,000 a week. They decided last night that it was a better use of money to buy a used food truck, 2020 LCD 4,500 food truck. I don't know what all that means, but they're looking at a cost of $59,300. And it should be here by the end of the week or in the next week. I mean, soon. So we don't have to continue to pay that $5,000. They talked about lots of different options, and this really was the cheapest option. They were talking about a new one for $76,000, and then we'd have to use the box that's on our old one. They said that they move 7 carts of food a day in that food truck. I'm not sure what a cart is. But they also use it for moving band equipment and other things. So it is something that is used. Also, there are 4 buses, and I asked about this because some of what was said didn't make any sense. There are 4 buses that they're going to auction off. Bus 26, bus 17, bus 20, and bus 24. And then a little bit later in the meeting, they discussed that in the future, I don't think so distant future, they're talking about buying 2 new buses and a Suburban. Well, it didn't make any sense to me on why they're selling buses if they're just going to buy buses. So I asked, and it seems as though bus 26, 17, 20, and 24 are really old, worn out buses. 2 of them aren't even street legal. They won't run. 2 of them you got to jump off every time you get it started. So they're just 4 buses that we have gotten everything we can get out of them, and so they're going to auction them off. So like I said, they were talking about 2 new buses, or possibly 2 new buses and Suburbans. That was just kind of glossed over in the meeting. It wasn't something that went into depth. They just see that being a need in the future. 2023-24, they're going to be asking for bids for the school meal service. So right now it's Taher. Not sure how to pronounce that. I've heard it both ways. So right now it's them. And so in 2024, they're going to, school year 23-24, they're going to start taking bids for school meal service. Also, one other thing that they did is federal mileage reimbursement went up to 65.5 cents per mile. And therefore we keep pace with what the federal mileage is. And so our mileage also went up. And that was our school board meeting. Everybody was present. Thank you. Have a good day.